Alright, welcome back everybody to another mod showcase here in City Skylines. So today we're going to be following up on these intersections that we created with the node controller mod. But this is going to be another mod that works really well in conjunction with that, and that is the intersection line marking tool. This is a really nice tool to have because it really lets you fill in the gaps where City Skylines doesn't normally create lines, or allow you to add lines to create more realism, whether it is to show where a lane should go, or if you want to change your crosswalks, or you want to add a filling line somewhere, just to kind of give your city that normal look. You know, having blank spaces on highway interchanges and certain intersections just doesn't always look right and doesn't bring the right feeling to your city. So this mod, of course, is going to require you to be on PC. I will link it in the description below. But I'm going to go over a few scenarios. I'm going to use these same intersections that we used in the last mod showcase. So you get this new icon down here for the intersection line tool, and you get a very similar kind of UI, but you can do a few things. You can either do it on the intersection, or you can do it in between nodes. So if you want to add lines here, like if you want to make solid lines or something like that, you can do that as well. In fact, I can show you real quick. So let's say for some reason we want this line down the middle to be a solid line. We just grab it, go to each node. Oh, I think we did it, and then we do a solid line. Now, as you can see, it doesn't quite line up, so you can hover over this, hold control, and you can actually move this up or down to better line up, and you can do this on both ends to better line up where you want it. And as you can see, it looks a little bit better. I think we went a little too crazy on this one up here, but yeah, that looks way better. So for whatever reason you want a solid line there instead of being dashed, maybe to symbolize it's a turn lane or something, you can gladly do that. Now, if we go over here to this intersection, we can, let's say this is a turn lane, we want to guide people to only go into that lane. So we can do a nice dashed line through there, and we can do all sorts of different things. We can change the color if we want. For whatever reason we want it to be, let's say, red, or maybe more of a yellow. You can go in there and you can change all these different properties. You can also change the different widths, the different dash lengths. So right now this on 1.5, let's just say we make that 3, it's going to make it longer. Or you can make it more like the American style dash lane, which I usually think I do like a 0.5 or something like that. Oh, I think I did it on the wrong one. Yeah, where it's there's a lot more lines, it's a lot more dashed. And then of course you can change the width and the spacing. So you can make it very sparse, very close together, whatever fits your fancy. And then you can also, let's actually use our mod that we used from the last video. If you want to check that out, it will be linked in the card above or in the description down below. But on this yellow node, I just want to remove that, and then we're going to go back to our line tool. We're going to hold shift. You're going to see that you get these new longer lines. So these symbolize where crosswalks are. And you can mix and match. So if you only want the crosswalk to go to here, or if you want to bring it all the way across, you can do whatever you want. We're going to bring it all the way across, which is going to give us our typical zebra crossing, but we can change it to all these other ones. You can have like lines, you can have solid, whatever fits the feel that you're going for, you can do it. There's the lines and solid, which actually you do see quite often in my area. And again, you can change all these different properties, including the color. So if you want it to be more, I don't know, bright white, or if you want it to be blue for whatever reason, whatever's fit in your area, you can do it. And then you can change all the different spacings, how big they are, all these different properties. And if you don't want it, you just simply delete it and it'll remove it. And you have all these different presets that you can do up here, different fills and everything, which looks really good. And it's really nice because this really brings those intersections to life. Like I said, like being able to do solid lines, being able to do dash, just kind of get the flow of your intersection going is really nice. And it's really, the possibilities are endless. There is a couple things that you can do as well that are more advanced. So for whatever reason, you draw a line, let's say here, but you don't want it to go beyond this line, you can actually do that. So you can start from, so if you click on from, you can click on from, and then you want it to only go to this line. Boom. That's as far as it goes. So If you're trying to create certain intersections and you only need lines to a certain point, you will draw them all the way through, but then you can choose where you want those lines to start and end, and that's a really cool thing to have, because you can create really cool custom intersections with that. So let's go over to this intersection. I'll kind of show you what transformations this does. So we built this in the Node Controller mod showcase, but we're going to kind of do a quick and dirty little intersection here. So we want these lines to be a solid. So we're going to change those to solid. We want this one to be solid as well. We want to have dashed lines here. And you know what? Let's go ahead and let's make this a solid line as well. And a solid line over here. So within a couple minutes, oh, that is not a solid line. There we go. And then we need to add our dashed line here. There we go. Within like less than a minute, we have a really simplistic, but a much better looking intersection. It still doesn't maybe look super realistic or super perfect, but that looks a heck of a lot better than just an empty void there, and gives a little bit more depth to this. Now there's a few extra things that we can do. We hit Control Shift and F, we will get our fill tool, so we can fill in this middle part if we really want to. So we can bring this to here. Just click on all the little red dots, so we'll bring it to there. Oh, if it'll actually let us. Straight across to there and back down over here. Now it's always got to be completely filled in, but as you can see, we have these lines here. We can also do different modifications, like align it to the grid, change all our different things, but then we have all these different options. So we can do checkerboards, solid. We even have where we can fill it in with grass and gravel and everything like that in between. So if we do gravel, for whatever reason, if you want it to be gravel, it can be gravel. And it just looks really nice and really completes these intersections and allows you to kind of do what you need to do to make your city look, exactly how you want it. And that's the great thing about these mods here. And there's all these different options of different fills that you can use to get this to look exactly how you want it. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't like follow the curve here or anything like that. You can adjust these and kind of fix it up to make it look a little bit better. But this gives you some really good options. So let's go over to our highway now. I'll kind of show you how this will look. So over here, we built our little interchange that has a 2 plus 1, so it comes up to 3. So if we just go into a solid line here, and as you can see, it doesn't quite line up right, so we can bring this up just a little bit. I'm not going to go super perfect right now, but we'll just do that. And we'll go a solid line there, a solid line there, and do a nice dashed line, and one last solid line there. And as you can see, we have this very nice merge, and then we can do our last little thing, which is a recommendation marker, which turns us into a solid line. So it just recommends people to not merge too quickly, get some speed up, and get on the highway. And you can also fill in these little bits as well. And we're also auto-saving here. But the other thing that we can do is use our fill tool. So we can do Control Shift F. We can fill in this little triangle here. And we can do these. That actually looks really good right off the bat. I mean, I would probably space these out a little bit, but you get this nice little fill in between, and you get this really nice intersection that really just kind of makes it feel a lot more realistic and kind of makes it actually look like an interchange without the empty void of no lines. So this is a mod that I have used time and time again. I will continue to use. It is probably on my top list of mods. And fortunately, it works really well with the airport DLC, and it's had very little issues. So I'm really happy with how this mod is. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you have any other suggestions of mods you think I should check out, leave those in the comments down below. Again, this will be linked to the Steam Workshop in the description. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.